Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about and breaking down how the Chicago Bulls are being named a favorite to trade for Jaylen Brown in a potential trade. Also talking about all the recent Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown trade rumors. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also, leave a quick like below today's video. It takes a second and helps me out a lot. And leave some comments and questions below today's video about all the topics and rumors I'm about to jump into. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into today's video, because this tweet did come out just the other day from the NBA Central on Twitter. And he did put out this tweet saying, per @betonline.ag, the Hawks are the favorites to land Jaylen Brown in a potential trade. And they do have the best odds, 2-to-1 odds, to trade for Jaylen Brown in this upcoming offseason. Now, the Chicago Bulls do have 6-to-1 odds, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about this. And honestly, for the past few months now, the Bulls have kind of been linked, same with the Celtics, to a potential Jaylen Brown for Zach LaVine swap. For the past few weeks and months now, I've seen many articles, many YouTube videos. I mean, just the other day, Locked On Bulls did put out a video talking about if the Bulls could trade Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. And I also saw back on March 31st of 2023, NBC Sports Chicago, they put out a little video talking about should the Bulls trade for Jaylen Brown. So I'm going to talk about that whole situation in today's video. Now, before I talk about Jaylen Brown's game, what a potential trade would look like, and of course comparing him to Zach LaVine, leave your thoughts and opinions below today's video about the Bulls being listed as one of the favorites to land him in a potential trade, and if you guys would trade Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. I also wanted to throw up this tweet. This article did come out from Bleacher Report back in March of 2023. And the article was titled NBA Rumors, Jaylen Brown linked to the Hawks, the Bulls, the Clippers, and more in 2024 free agency. I did make a video back in March talking about this whole situation because per Sean Devy of Heavy.com, he did list the Hawks, the Bulls, the Clippers, the Bucks, and Golden State, and they're viewed as the most likely potential landing spots for Jaylen Brown in the summer of 2024. So this is just another league source and another article and another rumor linking Jaylen Brown to the Chicago Bulls. Now, in my eyes, I wouldn't trade Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. Now, I'm also going to just erase the Game 7 that he did play versus the Miami Heat, where he shot, I believe it was like 8 of 25 or something like that. And he also did have 8 turnovers in that Game 7. I'm just going to erase that game because I know a lot of people are just going to think of that game and base off a whole trade in his, I'd say, future because of that one game, and he definitely deserves some hate and criticism for that game. But at the end of the day, say Jaylen Brown played a solid Game 7, I still don't think I would trade Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. Now, per Brian Windhorst of ESPN, he did say that the Celtics are expected to extend Jaylen Brown, and he did say, in talking to people on both sides of that situation, I think there's a very good chance they're going to find ground on that. Now, I'm going to be real, I don't trust Brian Windhorst 100%, but say this does happen, this wouldn't surprise me. I still do believe that Celtics' best bet is re-signing Jaylen Brown. Now, I saw they are expected to give him that max deal, the same as Zach LaVine. Now, I don't know if he's worth that, but I could say the same question about Zach LaVine. So let's just jump into the whole Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown swap trade rumors that have been going on for months now, and they're all over Twitter. Bulls fans and Celtics fans are always debating and talking about this situation. Definitely leave your thoughts and opinions below today's video if you guys would swap Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure what a potential trade would look like. I'm sure more assets or draft picks would have to be involved. Who knows if the Celtics would even be interested in Zach LaVine. And like I did say earlier in today's video, I wouldn't do that trade. I'm still very high on Zach LaVine, and I might be crazy, and I know some Bulls fans are probably going to get mad at that whole situation. But let's be real, Zach LaVine and Jaylen Brown have been compared to each other for years now, and if you look at their numbers, their weight, their height, they're pretty much the same player in my eyes. I don't believe either of these guys can be a true number one scoring option or just a true number one on any championship team. I do believe Jaylen Brown can be a number two. I believe Zach LaVine could also be a number two, but he definitely needs to continue to improve on his game. Now, comparing Jaylen Brown to Zach LaVine, they're both shooting guards or small forwards. Jaylen Brown is 6'6", and he does weigh 220 pounds, and he is 26 years old. Now, Zach LaVine is a little older. He is 28 years old, but he is also a shooting guard and small forward. Zach LaVine is 6'5", and he does weigh 200 pounds. I will say, as of right now, Jaylen Brown's probably the better overall or all-around player. I just don't know how much better he's going to get. And also, Zach LaVine and Jaylen Brown are both two-time All-Stars. At the end of the day, I think Jaylen Brown will probably be the more all-around better player. So that's definitely more upside in my opinion. But Zach LaVine is a way better scorer than Jaylen Brown, even though Brown did average more points per game than Zach LaVine. Now, with that being said, for this past season, Jaylen Brown did play 67 games, and in those games, he did average 27 points per game, 7 total rebounds, about 4 assists a night, also shooting 49% from the field and about 34% from three-point range, and he did shoot about 77% from the free throw line. Now, comparing his season to Zach LaVine did play 77 games this past season for the Bulls, and in those games, he did average 25 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 49% from the field and about 38% from three-point range. So just looking at percentages, Zach LaVine is a much better three-point shooter than Jaylen Brown. And given how much this Bulls team already struggles to just get up three-pointers, therefore make them, Zach LaVine's already a much better fit for this Bulls roster. And Zach LaVine also did shoot better from the free throw line than Jaylen Brown. He did finish the season shooting 85% from the free throw line. Like I did say, Zach LaVine's older. Jaylen Brown's numbers maybe look a little better. He did average more points and total rebounds, but let's be real, the Celtics were a much better team than the Bulls. Now, at the end of the day, I wouldn't do this trade. I just don't see this Bulls team getting that much better with Jaylen Brown as their one instead of Zach LaVine. I do think Jaylen Brown's a better defender, but I don't think he's that much better than Zach LaVine realistically. And also, speaking of how these guys are always compared to one another and how they're pretty much the same, putting up the same numbers and percentages, both these guys need to go into this offseason and really work on their handles. I mean, just like I did say earlier in today's video, Jaylen Brown had 8 turnovers in Game 7 versus the Miami Heat. He could not dribble the ball. There was a bunch of reports about Heat players saying how they forced Jaylen Brown to just dribble the basketball and go left. And I do feel like in certain games and at certain situations, that can also be said about Zach LaVine when he, I'd say, over dribbles. So to keep it short and simple, I don't think I would do this trade. I really don't see the Bulls getting any better if they do, let's just say, swap Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. Definitely leave your thoughts and opinions below today's video about the Bulls being listed a favorite to trade for him, and if you guys would swap Zach LaVine for Jaylen Brown. Thank you guys for all the love on the channel in the past few videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.